Wednesday. This I'm gonna get this wrong all week. Wednesday, September 4th. It's I labeled yesterday's video as Monday, September 3rd. So
I did see that.
I did a hell of a job. Thanks for pointing that out to me, by the way.
I mean, I noticed it out I noticed like 6 hours after lock.
Yeah.
Or not after lock, after your show.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't notice until this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this lovely Wednesday. We have 8 games in front of us coming up today. So pretty easy Wednesday. We'll have this show immediately after the show at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will have Laffy and Chris Spags coming on to talk some NFL for you, NFL strategy show. And then it's just kind of like an easy night. Deeper dive from 5 to 6, live before lock from 6 to 7. Myself and Jake on that one. 3-man band for the deeper dive. I've got last night's results pulled up in lineup study. Not a fun slate. If you had the Mets and the Nats, you probably felt pretty smart. No one did. 15.8%. That's not aggregate. That is just all hitters added together for the Mets. Most owned guy, tie between Wilson Ramos and Conforto at 3.1 per. Nope. Jeff McNeil, 3.3%. That's the high number there for the Mets. For the Nats, most owned guy in the $15 was Trey Turner at 1.1%. These two teams were the highest scoring teams and the only teams to break 100 fantasy points.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I actually, for a while, I had a sweat in that tournament, and I was looking at teams around me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this one a full Mets-Nats game stack. It's the 8th inning. It's 5-2. Like, I don't really have to worry about that one. And then they scored, 15 runs or whatever in the 9th inning.
Yeah, in this contest, you had Alonso, Nimmo, McNeil, Ramos, Conforto, 1.3% of your lineups, which is what, 2?
Yeah.
So 2 5-man stacks there of the Mets. Not a single share of the Nats. That is not crazy or weird. No one else was there. 3rd highest scoring team. Well, they tied with the Cubs, but the other Chicago team, the White Sox, who had a similar amount of ownership to the Nats and Mets. What a gross slate.
Yeah, pretty sad too. Like I was hoping for better from Carlos Carrasco in his first start back. That sucked.
Yeah,
or not start, first appearance. I mean.
Yeah, I saw did somebody hit a 3-run dong to start? Or he gave up like 2 of them pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, single, strikeout, 3-run bomb to tie the game, solo shot to untie the game.
I didn't know that he had come in at the time, so the only thing I saw was the alert, and I was like, shit, Clevenger dead.
Yeah.
Not that he was like cruising or anything, but
I mean, he was going to get 30 if they held that win.
Right. And then I opened it up. I was like, Carlos Carrasco. Carlos Carrasco's back. Ooh, that's not a great spot for Carlos Carrasco. I had all of those emotions in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it sucked. I mean, like he obviously got like a huge ovation and everything, and then like he threw a couple of balls and then threw his first strike and got another one, and then it just kind of it went downhill, and then he like regrouped, and you're like, okay, cool, like he's gonna get out of it, and then McCann just launched one.
Carrasco back, for those that don't know, from cancer, right?
Yeah, leukemia.
Yeah, so good to see him back. Didn't expect to see him at all this season, again at least. Yeah, I don't even know what really to talk about from a stacking perspective. No one really worked. He kind of needed to just either be lucky and have the Mets or the Nats, or thread a really nice needle. Take a look at pitching, because I didn't look at the summary of how pitching shook out.
Flaherty was more popular on DraftKings, way more popular than I expected him to be. Not even that I thought like I didn't get any, or I got like one. I thought he was a really good play. I just didn't think that he would really be that popular because of where his price was.
Yeah, 19% ownership. I liked him. I think we had him projected like at 12 or so, because I knew I was relatively equal to that number. Would have liked to get more, just didn't work out. Had more Clevenger. You certainly had more Clevenger. 80%, which you can't really be mad about. How many people saw the 35-point Merrill Kelly performance coming? I had him. 35 was not exactly what I was expecting to get out of Merrill Kelly. Mitch Keller got hit with a liner. So that
Yeah,
one died pretty quick.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Everybody else was just sort of blah.
Lester did pretty well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was my most exposed pitcher. It got me nowhere.
Yeah, I was overweight on DraftKings, which wasn't really my plan going in, and I wasn't thrilled with it because it's John Lester, but it worked out.
Oh, I think I had like 40%.
On DraftKings?
I think so. I mean, I can give you the real
But
answer.
FanDuel, it wouldn't make sense.
I think I had a comparable amount on both. I don't truly remember the answer, but I do have it up here, so I can find out pretty quick. I had... Maybe I'm just lying. 32.7.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't mean shit for me. I lost money, so... I had 13.3% Merrill Kelly as well. 25% Clevenger.
Oh, you went underweight on Clevenger?
A little bit. 14% Flaherty. Pitching worked, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't even realize that we're talking about pitching here, and we haven't said anything about Mike Montgomery. Finished with 16.55. I had him 53% of the time. That's why, like, things are like... Looks a little bit different today, not having a Mike Montgomery with Shane Bieber at the top compared to yesterday. Why did I suck so bad? I mean, that, like... that's a decent combination of pitching. I mean, I know the answer. The rest of my stacks sucked. But now I just want to know.
How much Oakland did you end up playing?
A lot. Yeah, quite a bit. Most exposed stacks for me: Oakland, Atlanta, Boston, Minnesota, Houston. 4 of those were decent. Only Houston was bad. Absolutely zero Mets, absolutely zero Nats. Half the field on the Cubbies. Yeah, I mean, if you don't have any exposure to the 5 highest scoring teams, that's probably going to do it. Even if 6 through 10 were decent.
Yeah, it's normally not a good place to be.
What kind of dumpster fire bats did you roster, Josh? That's a good question. My top stack was a naked 5-man twin stack. Lester Kelly, one-offs of Soler, Rojas, Ozuna. Actually, not a bad lineup. CJ Cron with 2, Castro with 5 are the killers. Yeah, I'm just all over the place at the top. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Let's get plugs out of the way. MLB Strategy is the promo code 50% off your first month of Awesemo Plus. Use the promo code when signing up. We just did a little bit of a redesign of our sign-up page. Not gonna lie, looks fantastic. You click on the Awesemo Plus link when you go to the homepage. I'm sharing it on the screen right now. Go check that out. Lots of details from Alex. If you click on Start Membership, we completely redesigned the sign-up page as well. Full details on every package. You can click on drop downs to check and see what we've got. Fully detailed out. You can toggle on if you're buying Fantasy Cruncher. Just really looks great. Should help clear up any confusion that we have. So we also unveiled, and you can see it here, Express packages. We opened up a new pricing tier at the bottom for people so that we're looking to be able to check off boxes for everybody. We've got a little something completely for everybody. So we've got some entry-level packages. They are what we're calling Express. We've got our normal, monthly all-access packages. We've got our annual packages for every sport. Highly recommend you go check that out if you've been looking to sign up with us. Use that promo code MLB Strategy, but head over and check out everything we have to offer. There's a price tier for everybody, so check that stuff out. Finally, brought to you by Yahoo Sports. I am dropping the link to Emacs Spotlight Hitters and Stacks article. Yahoo is the presenting sponsor of this show, of the Deeper Dive, and of the Early Bird podcast. Coming up on a fantastic NFL Week 1 $1 million prize pool, no management fee contest. Can't beat that. You're going to be playing a 10 max entry contest. You don't have to worry about going up against 150. They've got lower management fees across the industry. Sometimes no management fees. They run pretty regular no management fee contests. The NFL, let's see, how many people are in that NFL contest as of right now? It was looking pretty sparse earlier. 7,000 of 40K. So they have 33,000 more spots to fill by Sunday. I mean, that number is very clearly going to rise a lot, but keep your eye on that contest, guys. You want to put every entry you can in there. It's not like it can fill aggressively quickly. You can only put 10 in at a time. It's not like you're going to see a sea of 150s coming in. Love the contest. Can't wait to get into it. They're running just a laundry list of NFL contests at all sorts of different price ranges. Plenty of good stuff to go around, so go check that out. Follow the instructions at the top of Emacs article. Use the promo code AWESEMO and get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points. It's as good as cash. 8 games. This one's going to be easy.
Yeah, seems it.
I ran a dummy crunch. Ownership is out. We've got everything to talk about, so I'm ready if you're ready.
Yeah, let's go.
I've got basically a full coffee, which is really exciting. Lets me know that the next hour is going to be enjoyable. Let's do it.
Yeah, I decided to actually shower this morning and didn't leave myself time for coffee. I'm pretty upset about it.
Coffee's better than bathing, man. Yeah.
Yeah, priorities not in the right order today.
Shower after the show.
Yeah. Didn't think it through.
You don't get that kind of planning on other shows, guys. Pirates and Mariners. See, I can't even read. I haven't even had all of the coffee yet. I need it. So I can't imagine how bad you're going to be at this. Pirates and Marlins. 5.1 run implied total for the Pirates. 3.8 for the Marlins. 64% chance to win. For Pittsburgh, Trevor Williams going for the Pirates. Bobby Duggs back on the bump for the Marlins. Doesn't ever make me feel good to say this, but once again, going to be blindly playing a pitcher against Miami. Trevor Williams looks like a decent value today across the board. How do you feel about him here against Miami?
Yeah, why not? He's not any good. He's not the worst pitcher in baseball. He's going to face a bunch of righties. He's better against righties, as you would expect. 20.7% strikeout percentage against righties compared to 13.3 against lefties. 309 expected WOBA to righties, 385 to lefties. So the platoon advantage against this lineup, I think, is pretty important. And he's just inexpensive and facing the Marlins. So I'm going to roster him.
Yeah. Right-handed power in Pittsburgh, 90 or 89 park factor from last season. So they're running out 8 of 9 righties in a park that kills right-handed power. I mean, he's striking out 21% of righties. That's close enough.
Yeah. And I mean, you get Alfaro, you get Brinson, you get a pitcher.
Yeah.
The Marlins lineup recently, the current version of it, isn't as great for strikeouts as it has been for a lot of the season because Austin Dean's back. He's not a high K guy. If Alfaro's not in the lineup, Holiday's a low K guy. Castro, Ramirez, Walker are all tough strikeouts, but it's still a lot of really bad hitters, and half of them still strike out a lot.
Right. They still have a 3.8 run implied total against Trevor Williams. So, yeah, I'm going to be there. He is at 27% ownership on DK right now, 17 on Yahoo, 6 on FanDuel. In my dummy crunch with very little adjustments made, I have 60% Trevor Williams.
That sounds like a fun night.
I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know that was going to happen. I hadn't looked at it yet. I haven't made any tweaks or anything. This is just a quick look. But yeah, I mean, what can go wrong with 60% Trevor Williams? Look, I'm going to have a lot. I'm not going to say 60 now and suddenly have 2 later tonight. He's clearly in play for me. I'll take anybody against the Marlins. I don't really have much of a choice. What do you want to do with Bobby Duggs? He's not getting any ownership whatsoever. I didn't get him at all. Seems to be a little bit overpriced for this spot.
Yeah, I think that last start he had where he was really good is the exception and not the norm. And there's nothing that suggests he's a great strikeout pitcher or a great anything pitcher. And now he's got a tough matchup against the Pirates. It's a park downgrade going into Pittsburgh. The Pirates don't strike out. They do have a bunch of above average hitters towards the top of this lineup. 5.3 implied run total. I'm just not really seeing a reason to get there.
Yeah, we're on the same page here. Can't wait till YouTube chat gets to the point where I said 60% Trevor Williams. Viewership might drop by half. Pirates bats. Not really interested. They're not cheap, and this isn't really like a great place to play from an offense perspective. Same side, like the Marlins. I guess Lewis Brinson is cheap, but I don't get the sense that I want anything here.
I think I'm more interested in the Pirates bats.
Okay.
They're expensive. They're not going to show up in optimizers, I wouldn't think. But I just don't think Duggar is very good, and I think the Marlins bullpen behind them is even worse. And guys like Newman, Reynolds, Marte, Bell, they all give you some upside. And then you can guys like Moran, Ozuna, Frazier aren't the worst either. So I just think it's an above average lineup, and they're not really going to have ownership in a spot where they definitely have a high ceiling.
They are my 12th ranked team right now. They're getting like 5% aggregate ownership. I assume they just fall by the wayside. I like individual bats here more. So I got 1 5-man stack, 1 4-man stack, and 15 one-offs. And I think that's kind of how I want to approach Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're like my favorite stack or anything. I just think that we don't have the top stack tool updated yet, but I assume they're going to be lower owned than their top stack percentage.
That would not surprise me. Any Marlins at all?
Not unless Williams gets to like absurd ownership or something. Like if everyone in YouTube chat listens to your 60% and then goes and like outdoes you, then Marlins starts to become interesting.
I deserve all of that. Yeah. I don't even have like individual bats I want to point out. Like nothing pops off the page outside of guys with like broken pricing.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett Cooper would be my favorite play. He's actually an above average hitter, and he's priced like he's just another guy on the Marlins.
Yeah. $9 on Yahoo. I think that stands out for him. All right. Lots to talk about on this one. Indians and White Sox. 5.6 run implied total for Cleveland. 3-3 for the Sox. 73% chance to win for the Indians. Shane Bieber versus Ivan Nova. Nova, no ownership. Bieber. 58% on Yahoo at $54, 34% on on FanDuel at $11K, 42% on DK at $11.5. I thought his ownership would come in slightly lower just because of the lack of true pay down options like we saw yesterday. I even wrote about it. I thought that it was going to look a little bit different because Ivan Nova, Edwin Jackson, and Antonio Senzatella are not sort of the same thing as Montgomery. But I'm wrong. He's getting owned out the ass. And look, it's a great matchup. Anything that you thought for Clevenger yesterday is essentially the same thought process you should have for Bieber. They're two right-handed quality pitchers. I don't have any like new takes against the Sox, but what do you think of that 42% number? Because you were huge on Clevenger yesterday.
Yeah, it's higher than I expected to. I mean, I guess it's not like we have a Coors game. We don't have a ton of expensive offenses we have to get to. You have the Royals facing Edwin Jackson. So I guess it's probably not that difficult to get to him. And I do really like him. I think that he's clearly the number one, the top projected pitcher. The price tag is expensive, but it's not like, I don't think he's overpriced.
No, it's just not wrong.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's at a point where he does have a small margin of error. Like if he makes a mistake with a couple guys on base to Jimenez or something, then he's not going to like crush that price tag. So it is a small margin of error, but I think it is a really good spot. I think that he's a really, really good pitcher, and I will be happy with any Shane Bieber I can get to. I
got to 37, which feels right. It's the same sort of area that I was looking at Clevenger yesterday. Do you see similar ownership for you tonight?
Similar to 37 or similar to the 80% Clevenger I had?
To the 80% Clevenger.
No, I doubt I get that much.
Okay. I think we're both in agreement. He is very clearly the best pitcher today.
Yeah.
Like from an overall standpoint. Wow, I did not expect 42. That number is 34 on FanDuel too. We haven't seen high-end pitchers like break free like that in a while.
More cheap bats this time of year too.
Yeah, that's true. 58% on Yahoo, where he's $54. I don't have a problem with that at all. We're not rostering Nova, correct?
I don't think so. The price tag at 5,100 on DraftKings is like mildly interesting, but I just
Yeah.
don't think. I think it's gonna be easier to find hitter value. Like if I'm if I'm rostering Bieber, I think it's gonna just be easier to find hitter value and get a better SP2 than take a pitcher like Nova that doesn't get strikeouts and is facing a team that is difficult to strike out.
Yeah, I think I'm just more likely to bump up to Waka instead of Nova.
Right.
Not that like
Yep.
that makes me feel any better, but I think that $800 is worth it.
Yeah. Kipnis, I think, is supposed to be back for the Indians today too, which is a downgrade for Nova.
Very much so. Doesn't need any more lefty bats in there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these Indians bats. They are currently the number 3 team in ownership. They are currently my number 1 team in rankings. I love these guys up and down the board. All 3 sites. Doesn't really matter to me. I expect to have a massive amount of the Indians. Monster run total. Great park for lefty power up against Nova. What's not to like?
Yeah, no, I'm there with you, and they're affordable too. Lindor and Santana are expensive, but other than that, Mercado, Puig, Kipnis, Reyes, they're all affordable, so it's not going to be tough to get to this team. I expect they will be popular, and if anything keeps me off of them, it'll be that. But yeah, I think it's a good spot against Nova.
Okay. Favorite Indians bat?
Lindor.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree there. If you like the Indians, Roberto Perez is $7 on Yahoo. Tyler Naquin also $7 on Yahoo. 2 viable pay down options at the flat minimum in a really nice spot.
26% Perez last night was fun for a little bit.
Is that how much you add?
Yeah, he was my highest on catcher.
Gotcha. Naquin also flat minimum on FanDuel, 3,100 on DK. Just a really nice point per dollar play across all 3 sites. Any White Sox bats against Bieber? This does not feel like a good spot to me.
I don't think so. Even like Moncada's priced up. Like you get power from guys like Moncada and Jimenez at a reasonable price tag, but yeah, I mean Bieber does give up a lot of barrels. That's the one thing with him.
Do you see the message? You see the message Jake just tagged us in?
No.
The answer is you. He said, "Which one of you two is grinding Yahoo best balls in the background?"
Oh, it wasn't that. It's my like pop-up blocker makes noise.
Safe bet though that one of us is doing that at 9:45 during this show.
I did think about it. I just hadn't registered yet. But no, I mean, I think that Bieber can give up some home runs, but I just don't think this is a spot that I'll be targeting.
Dude, I'm a moron. But Naquin is out, torn ACL, and the worst part of all of this is that we've had this. I had the same discussion yesterday on the show. Found out that he had a torn ACL and was not in the lineup. So, shout out to the people that I grabbed my lineup from. Maybe stop putting Naquin in 2 days in a row to make me look like an idiot. I'm on it, YouTube chat. Calm down, man. He's a terrible play now. Jesus. This isn't live before lock. Early in the morning. Why I have this show? I say dumb stuff so that you guys can point it out and I can fix my mistakes. You guys are simply just a filtering system.
I noticed it. I was like, I thought Naquin was like really hurt, but I guess maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Yeah, I use you guys as cheesecloth. Just squeeze the shit through. Alrighty. I'm gonna have more Indians than probably any other team. So, and hopefully, I don't pitch Tyler Naquin. I'm not on a show tomorrow morning. I was gonna say hopefully I don't pitch Tyler Naquin again.
Hopefully you don't pitch him. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I'm following.
We're good.
Yeah. I was like, that's a really weird use of your pitcher spots there.
Hey, if Alex can win with a -8, I can get a 0 from Tyler Naquin.
Yeah.
Red Sox and Twins. 5.9 run implied total for Boston. 5.1 for the Twins. 56% chance to win for Boston. Erod versus Jose Barrios. Neither guy getting any real ownership. Barrios in particular getting zilch. No surprise there. Erod at 8% on Yahoo, 6% on DraftKings. I don't want either guy.
Yeah, I'm not on either pitcher. Just tough spots for both. Not a lot of strikeouts in either lineup. Neither pitcher, both pitchers are good, but neither one is like a dominant ace, and neither one is a really high strikeout guy. So I don't see doing that.
Just heard some pretty aggressive thunder, which slowly getting here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What up, Dorian? I got to 1% Erod and 0 Barrios. Twins are my number 2. Red Sox number 4. Twins basically unowned. I'm going to have a lot of Minnesota and Boston again today. Same as yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's as long as they're low owned. I mean, if for some reason their ownership gets high, then it's not like it's a really high probability spot, but they're two of the highest upside offenses on the slate. They're not getting a lot of ownership. They're facing good but not great pitchers. Both of these teams obviously can just blow up in this spot. They're not getting a lot of ownership because people do respect the two pitchers going.
No one on the Twins is in double digits on DK. Mitch Garver, projected to lead off, is 3,300 on FanDuel. He's garnering quite a bit of ownership at that number, which should make a ton of sense to people. Adrianza is $8 on Yahoo. I think that stands out as well. But on DK, I mean, these guys are just unowned, and I want to pay up for that ability. Similarly, on the Red Sox, I don't they're not expensive in a weird way, but I don't love the matchup as much for Boston. I don't know. Who do you like this spot better for, the Twins or the Red Sox?
I mean, I like the spot better for Minnesota. I just think that all that right-handed power facing a lefty, although Rodriguez is perfectly fine against righties, but I think that whichever's lower owned is probably the one I get to more. I mean, the Red Sox have almost a 6 implied run total with almost no ownership.
Right. It's Mookie at 4,900 again.
Yeah.
17% ownership. Devers at 11. Everybody else in single digits. And clearly Mookie Betts is going to get ownership at 4,900.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah. I don't. It's so annoying. Yeah, I want to have both of these teams. Full stop. No doubt about it. I bumped up the Twins as much as I could right out of the gate. It's going to happen again. So I don't really know what else to say. Favorite bat from the Red Sox, then favorite bat from the Twins. Shit. Skip the Red Sox.
Obviously Mookie at 4,900.
Yeah.
From the Twins, either Cruz or Crone.
Yeah. Yeah, give me Crone there, 4,600. I think that fits pretty well. 3,100 on FanDuel, 17 on Yahoo, a little pricey. I just want this game for sure. Righty power is significantly better in Boston than lefty power. That fits up Minnesota pretty nicely. Nelson Cruz might hit a ball through the wall. Final 7 o'clock game. Cardinals and Giants. 4.3 run implied total for the Cards, 4.1 for the Giants. Man, I don't give a shit about this game, and if this were a football game and the Cardinals and Giants were playing, I would also not care about it. So congrats to both of those teams for being unappealing on both sides. Michael Wacha going for the Cards. Matty Bum Bum's going for the Giants. No real ownership going to Wacha, just 11% on DK. Bumgarner 10 on Yahoo, 3 on FanDuel, 3 on DraftKings, where he's 10-4. I have zero interest in Bumgarner, but I think Wacha is probably the best pay down option if we're saying just under. Look, he's better than Nova, Jackson, and Senzatella. That's the way that I need to say that.
Yeah, I'm going to get some just because of what the other options are. Kind of like the last time Wacha pitched, and it worked out really well, but he's just not a good pitcher, but it's not a terrible spot. The Giants only have a 3.8 implied run total. There's not a ton of strikeouts in their lineup, but there's not a ton of great hitters either. There's no confidence there, but it's an okay spot, and he's cheap. And he's not getting a lot of ownership.
Yeah, I got 11% as well. I would probably make small tweaks so that Trevor Williams comes down and Wacha goes up. I'd rather have like 25% Wacha and 45% Trevor Williams than 60 and 11. I really don't want either guy, but I don't have a choice today. I assume we're both on the same page for Bumgarner, at least on DraftKings. 10-4 is craziness.
Yeah, getting him outside of San Francisco isn't usually something I want to do, and that price tag is just really, really high.
Yeah, I don't really want him anywhere. He's the second most expensive pitcher on all 3 sites. I'm good. Cardinals or Giants bats, because I don't really care for either one of those sides either.
I think Goldschmidt is an interesting one-off. I think $4,200. The Cardinals are mispriced on DraftKings.
Yeah.
Which makes sense since Bumgarner is also mispriced. But you get a lot of power with Goldschmidt, Ozuna, DeJong, Molina in the middle of that order, all inexpensive. So I'm actually interested in the Cardinals.
I agree. I like Goldschmidt. I like Ozuna. I like DeJong. All of their prices look good. I just don't. There's just so many other high-powered offenses. 4,
Right.
5, 6. There are 7 teams with a 5+ run implied total. They're sitting at 4.3 up against Bumgarner. I don't. I get it. I just want like a slightly. I don't know what I want to change.
They may be more appealing as like a mini stack. Like grabbing a couple of those guys or 3 of those guys and putting them into one of those higher total offenses gives you a lot of upside too.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I don't get a little bit more. I had them a lot yesterday, actually, which paid off with 0 money.
Bumgarner outside of San Francisco this year, 336 WOBA, 1.68 home runs per 9. Strikeout percentage is about 3 points lower than it is at home. Against righties, he's allowed 1.71 home runs per 9 with a 21.7% strikeout percentage.
Cardinals are going to be a team that I need to take a look at. I like the idea of having them as filler.
Like, they're cheap enough. Can you...
Bieber plus
You
Cardinals?
might be able to make a Cardinal stack with Bieber and Gallen on DraftKings.
Wouldn't shock me if I got
Like,
it.
you would have some kind of not great one-offs around it, because if you put those two in a lineup, you have a $3,600 average, and the Cardinals aren't that cheap, but I think you could make it work.
Let's find out. I've got DraftKings, or I've got Fantasy Cruncher open right here. Let's make a 5-man Cardinals. Bingo. Delete. Let's filter to the Cardinals. Bump their exposure. Head to pitchers.
Like, if you take Molina, Goldschmidt, DeJong, Ozuna, Bader, plus Bieber, Gallen on DraftKings, you still end up with 3,300 per position. So, like, you're not getting good one-offs, but you can do it.
All right. I just ran like 100. 5-man Cardinals locked Bieber. Highest projected lineup I got was Bieber, Trevor Williams. You can get Goldschmidt, Edman, Carpenter, DeJong, Ozuna, Soler, Merrifield, Buster Posey. Not bad. But if we want to talk about getting a second good pitcher, I've got Ryu here. I think that serves as a decent proxy. Yeah, I don't like the balance of this, but you can see what. Okay, this one's decent. Molina, Goldschmidt, Carpenter, DeJong, Ozuna, Chad Pinder, Chris Davis, one off J up. You can fill out pretty nicely. Puig, Luis Urias, Jacob Stallings. A lot of like 1 decent, 2 punty type guys. Brock Holt, Benintendi, Josh Rojas. Josh Rojas just showing up everywhere. Stupid pricing. Gavin Lux, Brandon Belt, Lewis Brinson. Making it work. Moral of the story is that you can get to a 5-man Cardinal stack with Shane Bieber plus whatever you really want.
Right.
And if you do it with Bieber plus one of the more budget arms, you can fill out like Soler or Merrifield, Buster Posey. I mean, say whatever you want about Buster Posey right now, but grabbing Soler and Merrifield as a 2-man against Edwin Jackson plus that Cardinal stack is pretty nice.
Yeah, it just gives you a lot of versatility. Like, you can get maximum upside at pitcher and take a chance on some cheap bats. You can go with the normal, Bieber plus Williams, and then just get great one-offs. The point just being that it's not a great spot for the Cardinals, but it is getting it's the worst spot that Bumgarner can be in outside of San Francisco facing a bunch of righties. And with the amount of power that you're getting from guys like Goldschmidt, Ozuna, DeJong, you're not really worried about the likelihood of them having good games, but you know that those guys all have monster power that can do a lot of damage, and you're getting them for cheap price tags.
Any Giants bats against Waka?
They're
Posey.
pretty affordable. I don't. If Waka gets a lot, if Waka's ownership goes up, I don't hate the idea of getting to some Giants. It's a favorable park shift. Yastrzemski, Belt, Longoria, Dickerson, like none of those guys are bad. Posey is a catcher.
3,100. That's really not bad considering some of the prices for other catchers in a given day.
Yeah, I mean, when he singles 3 times, you almost 3x.
Alex Dickerson is $7 on Yahoo. That's probably the most appealing Giants pricing across the industry or across all 3 sites.
I would say this is one of the more appealing games for bats out of games that have 8 implied run totals that we've seen in a while.
Yeah, I think that's mostly just because they're not priced stupidly. Everybody's like low 4s or 3s. I mean, the most expensive guy in this entire game in DraftKings is $4,200. You don't see that all that often. But nobody is like stupidly underpriced. It's just like, here's everybody at 37. What's the average? What's the average salary for both teams? $37.75. With not a lot of like big swings. All right, we've spent way more time on Cardinals Giants than I ever expected. Quick time to give a little bit of a plug. Pulling it up on the screen right now. Doing another giveaway. If you want to head over to @Awesemo_com, check out this pinned tweet. You could win a 1-year pass of NFL Awesemo Plus. You have to retweet the tweet, like the tweet, and reply to it with your guess for the amount of passing yards that Aaron Rodgers will have Thursday night against the Bears. All you have to do, retweet, like, and reply. You have to be following our Awesemo_com account and the Awesemo NFL account. We'll be picking 2 random winners on September 6th. So the day after the game at noon Eastern, find out if you won. But go check that out. It's the pinned tweet @Awesemo_com. 4 to go. Flying through this stuff. Royals. Decent spot. Going up against the Tigers. 5.6 run implied total for Kansas City. 4 for the Tigers. Jacob Junis going for KC. Edwin Jackson. I guess we call it pitching. Doing whatever it is he's supposed to be doing. The Royals are quite chalky. They are currently the most owned team on the slate. Are we in any disagreement here on Kansas City?
No, I mean, they're clearly the best value team, but it just comes down to they're also bad.
Yeah.
And rostering bad teams at super high ownership is not really the best approach, I don't think.
They will, without question, I would imagine, be the biggest gap between top stack and ownership.
Right.
I assume they're like half the field.
Really easy cash plays throughout the entire lineup.
Yes. That I'm in perfect agreement with. Literally 1 to 9 are all very viable in cash. Now, like, Valoria isn't fun to roster. Like, these guys aren't a very large lack of talent. Try to focus on the Merrifield, Mondesi, Soler, Dozier, Gordon section.
But yeah, I mean, Mondesi being back does help since it gives them 5 good hitters now. Or 4 good hitters and then an average hitter in Gordon.
Yeah. I assume that I'm at 8% right now. Aggregate is 13. I think that's kind of where I want to be. It just really kind of makes me a little bit nervous because Edwin Jackson really is that bad.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with whatever Kansas City I get to. It's because I know that the way that I choose my lineups, if I have Kansas City, it just means I have contrarian pieces somewhere else in there. But the point is just that it's baseball. And so obviously, even good teams fail a lot. Kansas City's far from a good team. And you're trying to win a tournament, not, get the highest projected scores. And that's a different thing. So, yeah, I think Kansas City's obviously really, really good. It's just a matter of how high their ownership gets.
Yeah. For Oh, we need to touch on Junis, I guess. 24% ownership on Yahoo, 12 on FanDuel, 32 on DraftKings. Jake Junis is the second most owned pitcher on the slate. Any part of that surprising to you? Because I got to 44%, and the Tigers are terrible.
Yep. No, I think it's fine. Junis, not a great strikeout pitcher. Has a good slider, just doesn't have anything else. But I'm not sure you really need anything else against the Tigers. And he's affordably priced. He's facing probably like 6 right-handed hitters. Yeah, I have no issues with Junis.
Okay. Yeah, same page. Him and hitching our wagons to Trevor Williams and Jacob Junis. I assume one of them dies, right?
Yeah, most
Pretty likely scenario.
It feels much different than yesterday when it was just like Mike Montgomery, Mitch Keller, Mike Clevenger, go.
Yeah. Completely agree. This one leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't have the same sort of confidence in this bottom tier. Edwin Jackson getting to 4% ownership, it tells you everything you need to know about how much a 4K pitcher can just be like okay in any situation. It can literally be anybody because Edwin Jackson is as bad as you can put in that spot. You can't find much worse.
Projected for better than 2 points per dollar on DraftKings.
I'm at 1.9. So, yeah, it's rough. Did I get any? Am I talking a bunch of shit? I have 3.3, so I'm four on the dot.
Yeah, I assume I'll have some. It's not Mike Montgomery where I'm just like, oh, like I hope I get more.
Yeah.
But he's 4,400 and he's facing a really popular offense, so I'll have a little bit.
Favorite Royals bat?
I don't remember how Jackson is at holding runners anymore.
I mean, he probably has trouble seeing over to first.
But probably, I don't know, any of the top 4.
Okay. God damn it. Yanked my headphones out. Yeah, it's probably Merrifield for me. Alex Gordon, $9 on Yahoo. Appealing, I guess. Do you want any Tigers?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, same page. Diamondbacks and Padres, 4.2 run implied total for Arizona, 3.8 for the Pods, 55% chance to win for the Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen going for Arizona, Chris Paddock going for the Pods. You mentioned Gallen earlier. 26% ownership on Yahoo, 12 on FanDuel, 19 on DK. He's 9,600. On the opposite side, Paddock, 14, 6, and 16. I prefer Paddock to Gallen in this one. You're going to tell me the opposite, I believe?
Yeah, give me Gallen. Okay. Second highest strikeout percentage on the slate at 28.2%. Facing a Padres team that doesn't have as many strikeouts as they have for a lot of the season. But the flip side to that is they also just don't have many good hitters in their lineup anymore. No Reyes, no Tatis. Just a pretty mediocre lineup outside of like Manny Machado. So I think it's a good spot. And he's a really, really good strikeout pitcher.
Not that I disagree. I just don't want to spend 9,600 on him today. I would rather have Ryu at 92.
Oh. Not me.
Really? Okay. We will get there, I guess. I'm intrigued.
I mean, I don't think it's crazy. It's just I would rather have the 30 or the 28% strikeout guy than the 22% strikeout guy.
Very reasonable take. I do appreciate getting to face the Rockies, who have been just a complete dumpster fire anytime they're not playing in Colorado.
Yeah, the Rockies suck.
Yeah. But more than anything, like, I don't really want anybody other than Bieber at the top. Like, I'm not even super fond of Ryu. I got to 2/3 of the public. Public's at 19 on Gallen. I got 3. Ryu is at 30. I got 20. So I just don't want that general area either way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. A $2,000 difference for me from Bieber to Gallen is pretty nice. Like, I prefer Bieber, but I think that with there being a lack of good, cheap pitching, that $2,000 could be pretty useful.
Agreed. I'm just going to have way more of the bottom, I think, than that upper mid tier. I like the spot for Gallen. I mean, there's no problems going up against San Diego. What's your interest in Paddock then? $1,300 cheaper than Gallen on DraftKings.
Not that high. I just hate the matchup against the Diamondbacks. They have so many guys in this lineup that don't strike out. They have above average hitters. I think Paddock's good, and I think he probably is a little bit underpriced, but I just don't really like the matchup.
Okay. See if they have a strikeout prop up for both of these guys. Paddock 5.5 minus 160 to the under. Gallen 6.5 minus 160 to the under. I think I might be underselling Gallen a little bit, but I just don't think that I want to pay 9,600 for him on this slate. But I probably need to bring Gallen and Paddock closer together. Bats, Diamondbacks, Padres.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Josh Rojas is still free.
Yeah, that's getting really annoying.
Yep.
I don't know what to do about it. Like, I don't want to know that when I'm looking at this stuff that I'm going to have a Cardinal stack and Josh Rojas is basically certain to be a part of it. Alrighty, I'm going to have to go buy tires after this show, so that's fun.
What?
We're getting new tires on the car. So gotta go drop the car off. Oh yeah, you don't see my screen. I got a pop-up from the wife.
Oh, okay.
Saying,
Now I'm following.
We gotta go drop the car
It was
off.
like the way you said it was like it was a new development, and I was just like, "Are you like driving and just blew out a tire or something?" Like, what?
No.
Why did that just suddenly?
She wants a new car, which I'm vehemently against. So I don't know. I'm probably gonna take hers and get rid of mine. I don't drive.
Yeah.
3,000 miles last year in my car.
Nice.
One
I'm sure
oil change per time, like per year.
Right.
Where do I want to be? Everything exists in this office, essentially. Coffee, water, video games, the internet. I mean, if I had a more comfortable couch, I might never leave. Any Padres bats outside of Manny Machado?
Nope.
Same page. To the Oakland A's, 5.3 run implied total for the A's, 4.2 for the Angels, 60% chance to win for Oakland. Tanner Roark going for the A's, Patrick Sandoval going for the Angels. Neither pitcher getting any ownership, neither pitcher should. You like anybody here?
Pitching wise, no.
Okay, same page. I don't really have anything to say. Angels and A's are my 6th and 7th ranked stacks, but that is where the line gets drawn. I basically don't have any ownership after the A's, and I have 8 to 10% in the aggregate for Oakland and LA. How you feeling?
I like Oakland. They have some pretty favorable price tags. Chris Davis is still really cheap. Chad Pinder will probably get pinch hit for, but he's really cheap. Sheldon Neuse has some power. Sub 3K second baseman on DraftKings. Even Chapman is cheaper than normal. So I don't know if someone not named Sandoval was supposed to start for the Angels today or something, but the Athletics pricing is just too cheap.
I'll tell you what I'm laughing at when we're done this stream. Yeah, I just want to have Oakland. This is very similar to yesterday, only Sandoval doesn't have the same sort of track record of getting blasted by right-handers like Jaime Barria, but I want all of Oakland once again, running it right back. They're all just too cheap, and it really comes down to that. How do you feel about the Angels against Roark?
I think that they are also mispriced. Mike Trout should never be $5,000.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani should never be $4,200 against a right-handed pitcher. Then you kind of run out of guys.
Yeah, is J-Up just dead?
DraftKings thinks so.
Yeah, 3,400. As an outfielder, that is just no, like, God damn, you got to be pretty bad to drop that far.
It would have been pretty crazy odds in like May if you were like on September 4th, Justin Upton will be 3,400 and Chris Davis will be 3,500.
I'm going to have both of these teams. I'd rather have the offense than the pitching, that's for sure.
He still has a 203 ISO this year.
Oh, okay. Then I love Justin Upton at 3,400.
Yeah. I mean, he's striking out 30% of the time, but
that's fine.
He struck out 28.7 last year.
As long as we don't get negative points for that.
96 WRC plus was 124 last year.
Chris Davis
He must just be running really bad on home runs. He has a 203 ISO at 11 home runs.
Maybe. Chris Davis, $9 on Yahoo. Chad Pinder, $7 on Yahoo. Both, I think, fantastic values. Otherwise, roster it all up on DK. FanDuel, I'm good too.
Upton's BABIP this year is 267. His career is 325.
Yeah, that's not helping. Oh, the Upton brothers. Miss Bossman Jr. Favorite Angels bet? Trout or Ohtani?
Trout.
Close it out. Close. Dodgers and Rockies. Dodgers 6-run implied total. Rockies 3.4. Ryu versus Antonio Senzatella. Senzatella not getting any ownership. I can't imagine making that pitch other than he's 4K, but even still, this is terrifying. 32% for Ryu on Yahoo, 21 on FanDuel, 30 on DraftKings. I'm in for it. At least a little bit. What's your hatred?
I don't have a problem with it. I just hate rostering guys that don't get strikeouts. Ryu's never had a track record of being a great pitcher. He started this year out amazing, and then he's pretty quickly come back down to earth. I don't know. I just think that we're talking about a guy with a 21.9% strikeout percentage at over 9K, and I don't want to pay for someone who's possibly good at preventing runs but not striking guys out.
I just see him as completely neutralizing both sides of the plate all season. Is he, like, I don't know, lefty Mike Soroka?
It's not a bad comp. I don't think the ground ball percentage is there, but
sure.
Could be. I actually don't know. I'm looking now.
Colorado has been just so bad outside of Colorado this year. To the point where, let me pull it up now. I just want to see what they've done on the road.
Last I looked, it was like a 78 WRC plus.
Right. I wouldn't ever really pay attention to this for any other team, but I think there's some merit to it for Colorado. A very different set of circumstances.
50.1% ground ball percentage for you.
Okay.
Soroka's like 54, 55.
Right.
But
that's actually not that. That's higher than I was expecting.
Yeah.
75 weighted runs created plus for the Rockies this year on the road. 159 ISO and a 25% K rate. K rate I don't really care much about home and away, but second worst team on the road this season is pretty bad. Let me see if I can grab. All right, so advanced away versus lefties, which is not really a sample size that I care too much about, but I just want to see it. Colorado, 78 weighted runs created plus against lefties on the road this season. So no big changes. I'm just happy to target against Colorado, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think Ryu's a bad play. I just don't love it. But I agree with you. Like, he could very easily just tear through this really bad lineup.
So right now, no ownership's going to Bumgarner or Erod, Barrios, Roark. I think we agree that Ryu, Gallen, Bieber are the only real options 9K or above.
Yeah, they're the guys that I would expect to get to.
Okay. 30% ownership going to Ryu. I have 20. I'm going to get a little bit more Gallen when I make some adjustments. So I think I'm just going to be light on both of those guys. But I need to have those two guys as the representation of decent at the top. And then I don't want any Senzatella, I hope. I literally got 0. I got 4% Edwin Jackson and Antonio and 0 Senzatella. Good God. Dodgers bats?
Nah. Yeah, no.
Number 2 in ownership, number 3 overall for me right now. Go ahead. Talk to me about Dodgers.
I mean, they're really good. Now you get some value in there with Gavin Lux. If Peterson's back today, Lux probably goes back to the bottom of the order and doesn't become a 30% owned value play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a really good lineup. It's a pitcher in Senzatella who isn't the worst, but he doesn't get strikeouts. He doesn't really do anything all that well. So I'll just take my chances on a bunch of power hitters facing a guy that pitches to contact.
There's not a Dodgers bat I don't want. I'm in across the board.
Agreed.
Smash these goons.
That said, if they're going to be 25 to 30% owned like they were last night, then I'll be underweight again.
12% aggregate right now on DK, 15 on FanDuel, Lux and Peterson, the big ones there. Very owned on Yahoo, but everybody's in like the 10 to 15% range on DraftKings.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Any Rockies bats?
Arenado and Story are pretty cheap. I don't know that they end up being priorities, but they should really never be that cheap.
Jonathan Daza's 2,400, so there's your Josh Rojas pivot. I don't know. I don't know what else to say there. Just play the Dodgers. 8 games. I'm sorry, but Dodgers stink, Josh. Okay, I got perfect time to end this show because that's one of the worst takes I've read. Congrats on that one, man. You just ruined the show. Hit the like button, please. Subscribe to the channel. 30 minutes from now, 29 minutes from now, Chris Spags, Dave Loughran coming on to talk some NFL. And spoiler alert, I'm giving it away now. NFL ownership projections are going to be talked about on this show. It's going to be the first look at ownership for the upcoming Sunday. So I highly recommend you go check that out. Should be a really fun show with Spags and Laffy. Adam, you're on the deep dive tonight, right?
Yes. Yeah, okay. I'm on everything. Thank you for reminding me. I totally forgot.
My job. Deep dive from Adam. Deeper dive from the trio. Myself and Jake Hari on Live Before Lock. I might not be around tomorrow. No idea if I'm going to have power or not. So best of luck to everybody. I don't have any other takes for baseball. 8 games, pretty easy. You good?
Yep.
We're out of here, everybody. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Go to the Twitter, @Awesemo_com. Check out the giveaway. Ownership projections coming out for NFL. Shout out to Yahoo Sports, the presenting sponsor. Go check out EMAC Spotlight Hitters and Stacks article on the website for more information on how to sign up. And you can use the promo code AWESEMO. Get $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points. I'm out of here. Adam's out of here. Best of luck tonight.